Your bags are packed, detectors ready to go. You're hitting that bucket list item. You're heading down to the Treasure Coast of Florida, and you're gonna find you some 1715 treasure and go home rich, right? Well, I mean, there's always that chance, but you definitely need to know the rules of hunting on the Treasure Coast so you don't get in trouble. So let's talk about the rules and regulations of metal detecting on Treasure Coast.
We figured there were more actual guidelines.
Well, no, they really aren't, and you really want to be cognizant of these regulations so you don't land yourself in trouble. All right, we're here with John Brandon, was the operations manager for Queen's Jewels, recently retired, but this guy is in the know about everything, all things 1715, and we're asking him today what the rules are for metal detecting on Treasure Coast. Take it away, John.
It's finders keepers. Whatever you find from the bluff to the low tide line on the beachfront, you can keep. Anything below tide line out to sea is either in state waters and belongs to the state, or is in the Admiralty contract areas for 1715 Fleet Queen's Jewels. But on the beach, it's finders keepers.
Let's expand upon what John was saying. So he said from the bluff to the water line. Well, what he means by the bluff is the toe of the dunes. Not in the dunes, the toe of the dunes. So basically, right about here, don't go any further. The dunes and the vegetation in them is what keeps massive erosion from occurring on these barrier islands. So basically the rule is stay out of the dunes. You can't dig in the dunes, you can't climb in the dunes, just stay out of them and you're good. Another thing I want to point out is you can see that orange flag up there. That is probably showing where there's a turtle nest. You don't want to mess with the turtle nests. They're not always marked with orange flags. Sometimes you'll see a stake, sometimes several stakes with yellow tape around them. Either way, they're usually marked and they're checked on periodically, I think pretty often actually. You'll see people riding up and down on four-wheelers. That's not regular people, that's turtle people. They're coming to check on the nests. All right, the water line. Right now is high tide. Let's take a little walk down here. All right, you can detect to the water line. Don't go in the water. If a rogue wave overtakes your ankles, okay, not that big of a deal. Nobody's gonna get upset about it. But if you are very obviously in the water, that's illegal. These Admiralty claims were filed so that they could put a claim on the area, and some of these boats can actually back up right to the shore. So that belongs to Queen's Jewels. So those are the three big ones. Stay out of the dunes, stay out of the water, leave the turtle nests alone. Everything else is kind of basic etiquette. Always fill in your holes, always pack out your trash and any trash you find. Don't bother the tourists or the locals. They can get a little more rambunctious. Stay off of private property. A lot of these stairs. That one even has a sign. You can see there's a stake in front of it, so there may be a turtle nest. If you have any further questions, the local sheriff's department is the enforcing authority. You can always ask a sheriff's deputy. Having said that, if you find anything weird, i.e. potential murder weapons, human remains, anything at all like that, you might want to talk to the sheriff's department. Technically, according to the state of Florida, anything found on the beaches or in the water that is older than 50 years old is supposed to be left in place and reported. Oh look, a 1974 quarter. Quick, let's report it. Yeah, no. People find stuff along the Treasure Coast all the time. They have no idea what it is. You're gonna find nails. You might find ship's nails, ship spikes, copper sheathing, lead sheathing, any kind of strange artifacts that you're not sure what they are. People literally take them to the McLarty Treasure Museum and have them help identify what these objects might be. So the reported thing, in my opinion, is just a blanket statement Florida uses so that if they did want to have a better look at an item you found, well, that gives them the right to. But in most cases, they're gonna take a look at it, hand it right back to you and say, good find. The turtle nests are not always going to be in the dunes like this one that's flagged here. Sometimes they're down below it. And sometimes Mother Nature destroys turtle nests, but we don't want to. Yeah, if you see turtles hatching from a nest, they're going to be booking it towards the ocean to, you know, try to keep from getting eaten by a seabird. You can't touch them. Don't pick them up, put them in the ocean. Also, if you happen to be hunting at night and you see turtles, whether it be an adult turtle or hatchlings, you know, just leave them alone. Let them do what they need to do. Don't be putting big spotlights on them, anything like that. Just, you're best off just steer clear of the turtles altogether. We're here to treasure hunt, not look at turtles. Okay, so most beaches on the Treasure Coast that you are gonna find yourself wanting to go to, most of them are gonna have a big sign that tells you what the rules are. You know what you don't see on here? It does not say no metal detecting. Always a good idea to check signage when you arrive at a beach. If it says no metal detecting, yeah, no metal detecting. If it doesn't, you're probably okay, unless it's a state park. Some state parks allow metal detecting, some don't, but it will probably be on the signs. If you have any questions, ask a park ranger. They might actually have a designated area that you can hunt in. So if in doubt, just ask a ranger. Also, national parks, national seashores. Don't even bother. Don't have your metal detector even in the car. You go into a national seashore or a national park and you've got a detector on you, you're committing a felony. They can and will confiscate your detector, possibly your car. And you'd be looking at a hefty fine. So definitely, you know, if you're coming to Treasure Coast, you got a rental car, you want to go check out Canaveral National Seashore, you might want to leave the detector in the hotel. You can't take anything from National Seashore or National Park. Behind the McLarty Treasure Museum on the beach, it's considered an archaeologically significant area. There's no signage there. I've walked through there, I have not seen any signs, but you're not allowed to detect there. So just steer clear of it. If you're entering the beach south of it, say at Amber Sands, just don't go north. You always want to be in the know, so research any of the places you want to be. There's a few books out there. I'll put some links in the descriptions. They talk about the Treasure Coast beaches and which ones you can go to hunt. The mdhtalk.org also goes all the way through it. We'll put that link down there.
My best day on the beach was 351 1715 silver coins.
Wow.
4 Tuskegee gold coins.
Oh.
There were 2 other guys there at the same time. Between the 3 of us, we found over 700 1715 fleet silver coins, 5 gold coins, and a high carat gold ring. And on the same day, some other guys were working north of Sebastian Inlet and found 300 silver coins. So in one day, over 1,000 silver coins were found on the beach.
Wow. What year was that? Do you remember?
Lots more are still out there. It was sometime in the 1970s, mid-70s,
Okay.
somewhere around in there. Oh, you know what? No, it was 1979 and 80, that winter. That winter, I found about 600 silver coins on the beach. We had Hurricane David in September of '79. Then this massive low pressure system came out of the Gulf of Mexico, came across the 5th day of February, and there was piles of treasure. And there's still lots left.
To add to what John was saying he found back in the late 70s, early 80s, there was a pretty significant event that happened on Thanksgiving weekend of 1984, and it was a nor'easter hit. And for several days, this north wind was just cutting these beaches up, and all the metal detectorists, in some cases, you didn't even need a metal detector. You go along the beaches, you're finding pieces of 8, gold coins, artifacts. I know of one treasure hunter who found so many coins, he had his pockets loaded up and his pants were actually falling down, and he left to go home to deposit all this stuff, and when he came back, the tide had changed and covered everything back up. Unfortunately, in 1986 is when they started all this beach renourishment stuff, projects, and it has made it increasingly harder to find all of these old artifacts and treasure from the 1715 fleet. people still do, but you really need a significant weather event. I have a special treat now. We're gonna head north, gonna go meet with somebody. Follow along for that. All right, well, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always know when we drop a new video. Please join us next week. We're gonna be joining a local Treasure Coast metal detecting legend. In fact, his nickname is The Legend, Mr. Terry Shannon.
How you doing there, Greg?
Hey, good to see you, Terry.
Hi, everybody.